5 red lights on in Monaco. And we're underway with Pietro Fittipaldi on the left, George Russell on the right. The lights are out and we're underway around the streets of Monte Carlo with George Russell looking like he's close to the lead. Has he managed to keep it there? Will they all manage to get through Saint-Devote unscathed just about? But there was an issue for Liuzzi in the background. He's spinning. It's frantic up the hill. But George Russell's got the lead. Past Arthur Leclerc with spinning in the middle. The Alfa Romeo collecting the 2 Mercedes in the mix as well. There, what a nightmare that was for Antonio Giovinazzi, I think it was, who was going the wrong way. But there, confirmation out front that George Russell has taken the lead. Fittipaldi side by side with Charles Leclerc, trying to overtake it to Massenet. You don't see that very often, but I think he's just about, even though he was going sideways, pull that one off.
And Charles Leclerc already on the back of David Schumacher, who doesn't seem to be able to translate the pace he had in the wet to the dry.
Oh, he's going to barge his way through. Charles Leclerc trying to edge his way through. It's all a bit Schumacher and Wirtz from 1998 there. He's going to try into Portier. He's not hanging around because his brother's up the road next. And he's looking like he can pressure George Russell.
Oh, that's a lunge.
That's a lunge and a half. And, you know, that is a fair move and an impressive one from Esteban Gutierrez, who's found his way through. And Albon's trying to go past both of them. That could end in tears. And it's ended in tears for Alexander Albon, who risked a wheel to the inside and finds himself heading back down the order. And after all of that hard work to contend for P6, he's down right now in 10th. We're on board with the Mexican driver Esteban Gutierrez as Arthur Leclerc losing time right now behind Norris, but Norris has waited for his opportunity. The driver that was simming for so long, it's great to see him in the top 3 of a virtual Grand Prix, and he's making that McLaren as wide as possible. And that is a ridiculous place to put your car. You'd never be able to do that in real life. Dodgem's time now. No. He's hit the Ferrari. He's hit the McLaren. And, oh, my goodness me. If you're wondering how long this is going to go on for, it could be a while yet. Amazing racing here. But it's Norris still hanging on to 3rd place.
But the thing is, Arthur Leclerc, it's something I mentioned at the start of the race, he didn't want to come out in this. He didn't want to be battling Lando Norris as Esteban now sends it into...
Oh, it's going to cost him.
Arthur Leclerc gets 3 seconds. I think Esteban did as well. And this is just giving George Russell, here you go, 1st place.
George Russell's going to be thinking, where are you all?
He's thinking this is the boring race. Oh, there's even more chaos.
Well, off to the Schumacher barrier at the Rascasse there for Alex Albon. And meanwhile, Esteban Gutierrez now up to P6. 2 Leclercs and a Norris, and look at that! Round he goes. So Arthur Leclerc, contact with Lando Norris, and Charles Leclerc now up to P3, Gutierrez up to P4, and it is a virtual Grand Prix around Monaco and not Dodgems at a fairground. Here's George Russell into the pit lane. We've heard him super calm on the radio to his engineer, and he will easily exit. No speeding in the pit lane for him, no dramas really for him. Took the lead in the opening meters of the race, and since then everyone else has been in the barrier or spinning or crashing into each other or a variation, getting a penalty. But for George Russell, it has been smooth sailing. A 14-second lead. Lando Norris, Nicholas Latifi, in they come. So a race between crews. Norris has managed to get ahead. And Norris in 8th ahead of Latifi.
Oh, David Schumacher, can he get through on Lando Norris? No, he can't, but he can get ahead of Latifi.
There we go. Good move for David Schumacher with the 1 stop.
As we take a look at Esteban Gutierrez all over the back of Arthur Leclerc. He's had 2 stops as Gutierrez. He's going to be flying on these mediums round the outside of turn 1.
Make it work. Used a little bit of Aramco barrier, but he did, you know, all the way around the outside and past the Ferrari. And you've got a battle for P2. This is the fight. We've got Charles Leclerc tapping the barriers at to back. That's going to give incentive to Esteban Gutierrez trying to close in. And will he try and go around the outside at the Rascasse? He's not going to be able to do that. He wants that inside line into Saint-Devote. That's what he's looking for. Sir Anthony Nogue, the corner named for the founder of the race, the first edition running in 1929, now in 2020. Who's going to blink first into this corner? Gutierrez knows he has to get out of it and does so.
You're always going to be shown the door, aren't you? Especially when there's no damage and it's Charles Leclerc driving as well, because we've seen some interesting driving. Oh, goodness me, that was very close for Esteban Gutierrez. Can he get any sort of purchase into the tunnel? That's another really good overtaking opportunity.
He sent him into the wall. Round goes Charles Leclerc. Esteban Gutierrez up to second position, and Leclerc just about gathers it together, but he's lost a big chunk of time there. And meanwhile, this is the battle for fourth position. Arthur Leclerc trying to keep Alex Albon behind. Albon's going to try and go around the outside. We already know that one doesn't work, but he's trying to get his rival off the racing line. You can see all the wheels spin for the Ferrari ahead there, all over the road. Now with DRS, can Alex Albon find the inside line and find his way to third position? No, he's going to be shown the Aramco barrier. Can he make it work around the outside there? This would be extraordinary stuff. We've seen it from Gutierrez, and now we've seen it from Alex Albon, who's close to spinning in Massenet. They bang wheels. Leclerc into the Aramco. Still they go side by side, basically through the opening sector of the lap. Nothing to separate these two. Red Bull versus Ferrari down the hill to the slowest corner on the championship. Wait for it.
They're still side by side. I can't believe what I'm watching.
And this time, somehow, Albon just about gets ahead on the softer tyres around the outside at Saint-Devote, and then grit your teeth and wait for it. By the time he got to Portier, he was finally ahead and up to P4. And George Russell just has a final few corners to go through the swimming pool. That's the entry, that's the exit. Tight to the walls all the way round. And we have seen some fantastic battles for the lead in these Virtual Grand Prix. This has not been one of them. George Russell dominates on the streets of Monte Carlo to win the Virtual Grand Prix in Monaco. And look at the margin he had across the line by nearly 40 seconds. It's his second Virtual Grand Prix win in a row. Extraordinary performance, by far the class of the field. Esteban Gutierrez, second place for the Mexican driver across the line. But what can you say about that dominant performance for George Russell, who's taken 2 in a row?